Hey guys, this is Ryan from AltaUnity.com, and in this video I'll be doing a review on the Ultra Hybrid Case by Spigen SGP for the Samsung Galaxy Nexus by Google. So this case is available for $21.99 at Craytouch.com, and it's also available in a few different colors. I have it here in the yellow and purple combination. So if you're a Lakers fan, this case would be or this color combination for this case would be pretty sweet. So here's the case, but before I get started, there are a few things to note, such as that this case will only work with the GSM variant of the Galaxy Nexus. So if you have a CDMA variant for, let's say you're on Verizon Wireless, this case will not work with your CDMA Galaxy Nexus, or as SGP states, this case will work, but the fitting may not be the best. And so that also goes for all the reviews I've seen on this case prior to this review. Some people with the Verizon Galaxy Nexuses have been having not the best fit, and seeing some misalignment with the cutouts. So that is one thing to note. This case also, if you do have a GSM variant of the Galaxy Nexus and you have an extended battery, this case will not work with it. This is meant to use, or meant for use with the GSM Nexus along with the stock battery with the stock battery door. So also keep that in mind as well. So now let's get into the case itself. Normally I do show the boxes in the case review along with what's included, but with this one you don't really get anything besides the case. So we'll just head straight to the case review itself. So you can see here's the case. To install it, it's pretty easy. Just get your Galaxy Nexus and slide it in. But one thing before that is that there is also some black tape on, or black lining here inside the case to prevent scratches from getting on the Nexus, and also some information about the case such as name, copyright, and they also give you a little serial number tag to indicate that this case is authentic. And if you go to the website, you can actually verify by putting that serial code and to make sure that this case is legit. So you just slide it up from the top. I like to have it like this, and just snap in the bottom. And let me get the case in focus here. So this is the case all installed. You can see there is a bit of lay on the table design here, which is great. So if you lay it flat down on a surface, you won't have any issues getting dirt on the screen. And what's even more great is that because it has a curved display, the Nexus itself, because the body is kind of curved, the chances of getting dirt on this phone are significantly less than a flat screen device. So that's pretty cool as well. So pretty much you have full access to the front of the screen, and here on the side you can see we have a covering for the power button, which is very tactile. It's pretty much the same responsiveness you get without having a case on the actual device, so I do like that. You can see here on the top there's nothing. Here on this side you can see the volume coverings, which are once again very tactile, which I do like. And you can see SGP's branding here with SGP Case, their logo, and Ultra Hybrid. Very subtle, but very it just kind of looks good in my opinion. I just like how that's there. You can also see they do also shape the case to show off all the contour design or contour shaping of the actual Nexus. So if you have a Nexus and you take the case off, you can actually see these curves, and I do like how SGP actually sort of molded this into their case. Here on the bottom you can see a cutout for the micro USB charging port and sync port. No issues, or I haven't had any issues plugging it in. And you also have a cutout here for the microphone along with a headphone jack. We covered this, and on the back we have a cutout for the camera and the LED flash, which I have no issues using. So the flash also does not interfere with the pictures. Here you have a cutout for the secondary microphone. And what's also really cool about this case is that, like the curves, they just went into so much extra detailing, which I do like. So you can actually see like these, I don't know how to say, I guess dents in the case that kind of resemble the Galaxy Nexus battery door. You can also see this little slit here where the original or the actual back of the phone would actually have an insert, so you can put your nails or finger in there to pry off the battery door, and that's actually kind of cut out here in this case. So the back of the case actually kind of resembles the actual look of the actual Nexus's back, and just this detailing kind of looks awesome. You know, it really gives off the actual look of the Nexus's body, and I really like that. Just in a case, I just like all this extra detailing that, you know, you may not see in a lot of other cases, so that's really, really nice. You can see SGP case branding here on the bottom as well. So if you're a hater of Samsung or you're a hater of Google for some reason, and you have the Galaxy Nexus, that is all covered up here with SGP's branding. You can also see a cutout here for the speaker. And yeah, that's pretty much it for cutouts and accessibility. In terms of material and protection, here on this back, this yellow portion is a hard plastic polycarbonate. So it's a hard rigid plastic, pretty much keeping this case intact, along with this somewhat rigid but flexible TPU. It's a very smooth, matte textured TPU, so it does not attract lint at all whatsoever, and it just feels pretty smooth. It doesn't feel tacky or sticky at all like some other TPUs may. It's just very smooth, very matte like, and it's very rigid, so it does maintain its shape, or the case maintains its shape after, you know, long periods as well. So it's not like that silicone that, you know, stretches out and deforms as time goes by. This case will maintain its shape, and as long as you don't drop the phone, the case will be in pretty good shape over time. And in terms of protecting your device, because that's pretty much what a case is for, you know, obviously cases these days are also for giving out style, showing a personality, but as a case, and you know, a case's job in terms of protection, when you drop the phone on its sides, the TPU rubber portion will do a pretty good job in terms of absorbing shock, but you know, it's not the most heavy-duty protection on a case. It is very minimal. It's going to keep or maintain the form factor of your device, and this hard polycarbonate back will just sort of help the case keep its shape while it's being dropped. And you know, plastic isn't going to absorb shock. That's what this polycarbonate or polyurethane material here is for. And so pretty much in most cases a phone is dropped on the sides, and so I wouldn't be too worried about dropping the Galaxy Nexus with this case, but I wouldn't be, you know, too happy about it. Just in my personal opinion, just dropping your phone in any case really does not do the phone any good at all. But yeah, in terms of protection, this is pretty minimal. Obviously, it's better than a snapback case with a very thin profile. This is actually going to give, you know, some decent amount of protection, but I wouldn't trust this case for, you know, anything more than 3 feet. 3 feet drop at most, and or 5 feet. It's a really nice case, and I'm awarding it an Editor's Choice Award on our website. For the price point of $22, I feel that the quality, the construction, the overall styling, the detailing, everything is phenomenal. You know, obviously it's not going to be the most protective, but for $22, you really shouldn't expect too much protection. And you know, you get a decent amount of protection. It's not the most you can find on a case, but for a user who just doesn't drop their phone often and is pretty careful or good with their phone and their case, I'd highly recommend getting this case. It's not for heavy duty activities, but it is something I can recommend to just an average person. So there you guys have it, my full review on the SGP Ultra Hybrid Case for the Galaxy Nexus. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and be sure to visit our website at www.alltechunity.com for more news and reviews on gizmos and accessories. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, and if you like this video, be sure to like it as well, and I'll see you guys all next time.